I started living with Lawrence just after college. We met in our sophomore year, and since then, we've been a couple. We moved in together soon after graduation. He'd always been a great boyfriend, but that was until we both got jobs. From that point on, Lawrence would make small snide comments about why I was earning much, much less than him. I was in a less profitable field, and I was struggling to sustain us both. That's right. He made me pay for everything. Yeah, he was earning probably 5 times as I did. But Lawrence never paid for a single thing in the house. Not our rent, not our food, not even his own gas. And whenever my money would fall short and we had no choice but to use his, he would list the expense down so that I could pay it back when I made more. He was literally leeching off of me. The worst thing was, because he was making more money, he felt he could boss me around and make me do everything. Hey, Sue, the dishes are piling up again. Oh, and you said you were going to do the laundry yesterday. I have nothing to wear to work tomorrow. If I need to buy a new suit, that's going into your list of expenses. You sure you can make enough this month to pay it off? I'll do the dishes now. I'll do the laundry after. I just gotta finish this one thing the client needs from me today. Do the laundry now! Jesus! Who cares what your client wants? She doesn't even pay you enough anyway. But if I put this off, she might fire me. Good! Then you can finally focus on keeping this place clean. Maybe you'll open your eyes and see that you should just come work for the corporate world. You're wasting your talent, you know. I eventually finished all my work, and the household chores too. But the next day, Lawrence came home in a rage. He started throwing things around. He tore my vision board from the wall and upturned my desk, sending my computer flying off onto the floor. What are you doing? What am I doing? I'm showing you how it feels like to have years of work go down the drain. I was being considered for a promotion, and it's all your fault it went to someone else. I told you to do the laundry properly. My suit smells like damp, and the boss probably realized I couldn't get my stuff straight at home. Why give me the responsibility of being an executive? Your smelly laundry cost me my promotion. I told you to do the laundry first, and now look what you've done. I'm sorry, Law, but I think you're being unreasonable. I don't think the company would decide to not give you a promotion just because your suit smelled a little damp. And I did check everything before you went out. It was nice and dry. Oh, just shut up. It's all your fault, and you should feel sorry. Now leave me alone. Lawrence didn't let up on me for a month. That weekend, when we were at a party to catch up with our college friends, he kept making snarky comments about my job. Imagine being at the top of our class all throughout college, top marks, and she graduated summa cum laude. Why is she spending all her time working for that nonprofit? It's a waste of energy. One of my old friends came to my defense. Maybe that's what she loves doing, and that should be enough, shouldn't it? Not everyone needs a high-powered job in the corporate world, Lawrence. Ha! Making finger paintings for poor, deformed children is what makes her happy? Then I sincerely doubt there's any future for her. There's no money in that. She'll end up homeless herself, or worse, deformed, like those disgusting children she loves so much. No wonder nobody ever adopts them. They're so ugly. I mean, I'm making way more money than she ever will, and I never had good grades. She's wasting all her potential, all her smarts to make some reject kids smile. That's pointless. Some of the guys from my class actually laughed at that. Some of them felt embarrassed for me. That the once great Sue was now earning scraps. I even heard them talking about me before they drove off. Sue's really in a tight spot, huh? And we thought she'd be a millionaire by now. Turns out good grades don't mean success, huh? I cried that night. It was already bad enough that my own boyfriend was bullying me at home. Now even our old classmates were looking down on me for not achieving the kind of greatness they thought I should. But that's just the thing. Success is different to different kinds of people. I could be earning millions, but if I was doing it on the expense of others, If I was tied to a desk job, it wouldn't make me happy. If I was making somebody else smile, if I was making their lives better, I'd consider that a success on my part. I didn't really care about the money, but my boyfriend did. One day, the pandemic hit. It affected a lot of businesses. It especially affected Lawrence because he worked in travel and hospitality. His company folded in months, and he was stuck at home with no work and no other source of income. Meanwhile, I was continuing work from home. And just like many other people during the first lockdown, I started my own channel. I documented everything in my life. At first, it was just a handful of people watching, mostly the kids I worked with and my colleagues. But then, for some reason, one of my videos got picked up by local news. They talked about the young lady who champions disabled kids' charities. They featured some of the videos from my YouTube channel and the charity drives I would host on my Switch account. In just an hour, my subscribers doubled, quadrupled, and then increased tenfold. By the next morning, I had 2 million subscribers, and I was shocked to see that when I started streaming on Switch, there were thousands of viewers willing to donate. I became an instant star. People demanded to get me to endorse their products for insane amounts of money. Even Mr. Feast tried to get me to do a collab with him. My world had turned upside down. And you'd think Lawrence would be happy for me. But he wasn't. He was just resentful. You just got lucky. You're not special. Anyone can do that. Watch. I'll stream and record my own videos. I bet I'd make more than you. He tried, but until now, he only has 20 subs. Mostly because he'd fight with his own viewers in his comments section. And honestly, Lawrence was just not very interesting. You may ask why I'm still with him. Why I stuck with him through all of the things he said and did to me. But the thing is, I loved him. And if we're being honest, we all stay in relationships even when we shouldn't. I know I should have left Lawrence a long time ago, but deep inside, I was hoping he would change. I was hoping he'd see he was wrong. I gave him a taste of his own medicine. Because he wasn't bringing in any money and I was too busy streaming and recording, Lawrence had no choice but to do everything at the house. Hey, if I had the time, I'd do it. But since I'm bringing in all the money now, I think it's only fair that you do your part too. Unless... Unless what? Unless you'd rather be homeless. Lawrence did everything I asked. It was funny, too, seeing him scurry around and try to figure out how dishwashers work. Hey, Law, the dishes are piling up again. You said you'd do them today. Oh, and I need that pink dress I like to wear with my pink headphones. I need it for a meeting. You should have been done with my laundry by now. I'm sorry. I didn't clean your suit early enough. Seriously? You're doing all of this just to teach me a lesson? Yes, and you still refuse to learn it. Lawrence ignored me for a week. What's more, he started seeing someone else. It was the classmate who defended me during that one party, Lisa. She was only trying to be nice to me so she could get close to my boyfriend. That was the last straw. My heart broke. And even after all Lawrence did, if he could still cheat on me, I was done. On the next party, I pretended I knew nothing. And then, out of nowhere, I borrowed Lisa's phone. Sorry, it'll only be a sec. I forgot to charge mine. What's this? I showed everyone Lisa's text to Lawrence. They were shocked. They mocked Lawrence for having the nerve to cheat on the girl who was financially supporting him, and they were disgusted at Lisa for having an affair with him. It's not like that. I don't even like him. I'm just struggling right now, and I thought Lawrence would still have some money. Oh, so you're just a gold digger, huh? Sadly, you're barking up the wrong tree, Lisa. Law is as broke as they come, and from tonight, he'll be homeless too, I told her. That night, my friends apologized to me for judging me before. And Lawrence? Well, I kicked him out. It was a long time coming. but I wouldn't have learned the lessons I did if I hadn't gone through the stuff he put me through. My stream's still popular, and what makes me happy the most is that I'm still able to help children in need. A girls' night out. We were celebrating the last few days of my singlehood. In just 3 days, I was gonna marry the man of my dreams, Pete. Pete and I met while hiking. It was my first time out in the mountains in years, and I sprained my ankle on one of the tricky paths. I was so scared for my life, thinking that nobody would find me out there in the woods. I was already hallucinating bears and wolves when Pete came to my rescue. He was hiking alone too and was planning on spending the night camping at the summit. Pete carried me all the way to the top. He tended to my ankle and made sure it healed properly. That night he made dinner for us, and we spent the evening exchanging stories as we watched the stars above. I fell in love instantly. Who wouldn't? If such a dashing, handsome man swooped in to save you from certain death and literally carried you. The rangers in the area assured us there were no wolves or bears or any other large animals there, and that someone would have eventually found me anyway. But I refused to believe them. In my mind, Pete was sent by the heavens, and that's why I idealized him. He'd always come when I was in a bind. He fixed the leak in my sink. He'd come over to screw a light bulb in. He'd fix squeaky closet doors. Basically, anything I could think of as an excuse to invite him over. And eventually, I invited him over so many times that he ended up moving in with me. To me, it was a love story for the ages. But it turned out the same wasn't true for Pete. On the night of my bachelorette party, I noticed that my sister, Chelsea, was acting all shifty. She would take out her phone, cover the screen with her hand, and giggle to herself as she texted. A prize for me and the girls. So when she excused herself to go to the ladies' room, I snooped around in her purse. I knew it was wrong, but I just had to find out. I was never very good at surprises. But the surprise I got when I read the messages I saw was not the good kind. I dropped her phone